Well, I'm joined now live on the phone right now by Robert Shipp. He's the chair of Southern Alabama University's Marine Science Department and also the Gulf of Mexico Fishery Management Council. Bob, thanks for joining us on the phone. And just give me a sense right now from this oil spill, what the impact is on marine life there.
Well, Betty, it's going to be just horrendous if this thing isn't sealed up in the next week or 10 days. Our biggest problem is going to be the estuaries, where we have underwater grass beds and oyster reefs in very shallow water, and those will be totally obliterated if this thing isn't stopped in the next, week or 10 days.
Obliterated meaning you're talking about permanent damage, Bob?
Yes, the grass beds especially. They're very, very fragile. They're in shallow water. If the oil adheres to the blades, the grass will die. And the grass is where shrimp and crabs and everything else is dependent. And 80% of our economically important marine species have some phase of their life cycle dependent on the estuary. So that's why we're so concerned about the estuary and the shallow water areas right now.
So,
go ahead.
Well, so Bob, sorry to interrupt, but I want to get a better sense then. So if this were to last, if the cleanup were to last longer than 10 days, as you say, what are we talking about in terms of the impact on the shrimping industry, on fishing? Are we talking about near annihilation or what?
Well, if it lasts up to 2 to 3 months like they're talking about, this whole industry along the coast, recreational fishing, commercial fishing, shrimping, crabbing, all the rest of it, it'll be years before it even begins to come back. And we're not talking about just Louisiana. We're talking all the way over to Panama City, Florida, the world's most beautiful beaches. It's the tourist industry that goes. It's not just fishing. Mm-hmm. It's the whole tourist industry that's going to be at risk here. So the key is how quick can they stop it? Right.
I mean, there are some beautiful beaches, of course, as we all know, in Florida. I mean, how likely, though, Bob, and I know I'm asking you to speculate, but how likely will this then end up washing ashore in Florida along the coasts?
If it's more than 2 weeks, it is not only probable, it's almost inevitable. I'm right now on Perdido Key, which is right at the Florida-Alabama border, and already, where the models are predicting it to reach here in about 4 or 5 days. Now, Destin and Panama City, that's another 50 to 100 miles to the east, mm-hmm. and, we're talking 2 or 3 weeks before it reaches there. The worst possible scenario would be to have that stuff close by and then have some sort of a tropical storm where it all washed over the top, and then it would be there almost permanently.